Hi everybody, I wanted to report to you, I wanted to stick my finger in my eye on camera. So that's the whole reason for this video. Sometimes I stick my finger in other places in my body just to practice for video. Anyway, so I was just thinking about something. I was with my friend Shauna. My friend Shauna Strasberg, who's a big fat exec at Country Music Television. I just thought I'd throw that in there because she's a badass. Anyway, she was up at Napa and I came to stay with her, and we went out to see Japanese food at this fabulous restaurant, and we were confused about the tuna options, and on the menu it said O and Chu for tuna, and we were like, what? So we looked it up, couldn't figure anything out. Anyway, so we're gonna put that one to the side for just a moment. Then I was thinking about this book that I just was a contributor on, about women who have gone through hard things and persevered, and I realized that I didn't really tell one story. I kind of told a thread of things, like a series of incidents in my life where courage has kind of gotten me through, and I just skipped over some of the big stuff, and I realized, I didn't really go that deep on that story. It was more of like, shit happens and we laugh about it and adapt and move on kind of thing. So one of the things that I skipped over was when my son Hayden broke his femur, which is his thigh bone, in a football game. It was the hardest bone in the body. When he was 14, and had to have, it was significantly horrible, which I won't tell you while I'm at the airport without a mask on. Hi everybody, no mask. And it's okay, I just have cancer, it's not that big a deal. So anyway, when they had to repair his femur, they cut an incision at his hip, and then they put a rod through his bone, and then they put screws at the top and a screw at the bottom. So this thing was all the way through his entire femur. Sewed him back up, and then he developed this thing called compartment syndrome, where his leg just swelled up super bad, and this was in a matter of 6 hours after the surgery, and it kept getting worse and worse. So they had to go back in and open him up again, and made basically an incision that was I'm gonna say 14 inches long. I just realized that I'm this close to, I don't know why, and it's because I'm at the airport and my arm's only this long. Whatever. You know what? Leave me alone. How long are your arms? What, T-Rex? Anyway, so they had to cut his leg open, fillet, all the way down, and take out a chunk of his muscle and put a drain in there. And then the drain was draining for a couple of days, and he had 4 more surgeries. Anyway, so that was fun. Good times are had by all. And when the doctor described what she cut out in terms of the muscle that she had to remove in order to do this, she said it was oh my God, I just looked at myself on camera. I look like fucking death. Am I okay? Can you check on me? Lordy Lord. Okay, anyway, I need to hydrate. A chunk of his, not skin, that's not the word, muscle. And I said, so like a piece of sashimi? And she said, yeah, like that, like a big piece of sashimi. So I was thinking about that story and the book on my way into the airport this morning, and about how difficult that was, and there's so many things like that in, that was really hard on him in particular, but I stayed overnight with him for 2 weeks there, and it was just a rough patch. So I was thinking about that in terms of the book, and like if I was to write another book, if I were to write another book, if I was to write another book, I would have an editor for the verbs. I would go deeper and think more about this stuff, and I'd have more words to, you know, I mean, you don't tell someone whose last name is Whitcomb, my family, to tell any story under 2,500 words. But anyway, so then I started thinking, when I was thinking about the book and the trauma and things that have gone on, I was thinking about his leg being opened up and the sushi, and that Shauna and I had I'm a big fan of maguro, which is tuna, toro. So I looked up sashimi while I was in my Lyft. By the way, my Lyft driver was gassy. They're always gassy. What is that? Do I make people gassy? Is anybody listening to me? Okay, so I looked up sashimi, and the o and chu that were on the menu were short for otoro and chutoro, or otoro and chutoro, which is, you know, because I'm hella Japanese. Anyway, that is a little bit how my brain works. That it was thinking about the book and going deeper in emotions, and then the sashimi of Hayden's leg fillet coming out, and then connecting it to my dinner with Shauna. And yeah, so I think things are broken in there. I think some of the bridges have collapsed in my brain, because I should be able to go from point A to point B, but I go from point A and then I get on a bridge, and then I sort of drop off the bridge and float down the river a little bit. And then at some point, like, I run into a rock, and then I have to crawl onto the rock in the river, and I can wait for help, but I'll keep talking while I'm waiting for help. And then I can crawl off that rock, maybe get to the shore. It's not really a shore, the side of the river, and then find a trail, and then I could take that for a while, you know, a nice straight path along the river. But I may fall off into the river from time to time. So that's a little bit what happened here, and you know, I'm glad you were here for that. And I got to Portland. I don't know about you. What are you just sitting around?